Picking up from last week's cliffhanger, Dax reveals to Aira that his parents are dead. But before she can console him, they're attacked by a giant space worm that bursts through the floor of the ship. And it's only with great difficulty that they manage to blast it back out into space, where it explodes in a fiery ball of plasma. It's only then that Dax reveals to Aira the truth about his past. The ship they were in belonged to his parents, who were explorers. When Dax was just 8 years old, his parents had traveled to a remote jungle planet in search of an ancient relic. But when they arrived, they found it had already been discovered by the Voidborn Legion, and his father was killed instantly by one of their void cannons. His mother managed to escape with young Dax in tow, but she was mortally wounded. Before she died, she entrusted Dax with a mysterious glowing orb, warning him that the Voidborn will come for it one day, and telling him that there are others like him out there. Then she died, and Dax was forced to flee into the jungle, where he hid for weeks until he was eventually found by the crew of the Salvage, ship that would one day become his own. But even though he escaped, the Voidborn did find the relic on that planet. And so now, hearing this, Aira realizes that Dax isn't the only one who has something to personally lose in this war. But her thoughts are interrupted by another transmission from Commander Veyra Skorn. She has heard that the relic hunters have taken an interest in the bounty, and she is sending 2 of her best bounty hunters to retrieve it, no matter what it takes. And just as she finishes speaking, the ship's alarm sounds and suddenly a pair of spaceships emerges from hyperspace right outside the viewport. Aira quickly gets to work trying to repair the hyperdrive, but it'll take some time and the ships outside are closing in fast. Suddenly, Dax steps forward. He says that he knows how to get rid of these ships and turns his attention to his pet lizard. In a blink, the lizard has grown to over twice its normal size and lets out a deafening roar. As it lunges at the viewport, the ships outside panic and break off their attack run, turning tail and flying away. Once they've gone, Dax explains to Aira that the creature is an aggressive species of reptilian humanoids from the planet Kala, which is also where he got the lizard. He kept it as a pet until it grew too dangerous to handle and he had to set it free. But now that it's free, the Clack sees that Dax is in danger and has returned to defend him. With the immediate threat taken care of, Aira is finally able to repair the ship and they make a quick getaway. As they jump to hyperspace, Aira asks Dax if he wants her to help him destroy the relic, but he says no. He wants to keep it safe. He knows that the Voidborn will come for it one day, but he's not giving them the satisfaction. Plus, he admits he doesn't really know where they would even start looking for a relic hidden on a jungle planet. Meanwhile, back at the hidden temple, Zev and Riff are having a heated argument. Zev maintains that the relic is in good hands with the relic hunters, but Riff is adamant that they should take matters into their own hands and steal it back. Just then, however, a transmission comes in from Commander Veyra Skorn, and she tells them that the relic hunters have once again gotten away. But she has a lead on their location and is sending them a map. It's a trap! As soon as the transmission ends, Zev and Reef exchange uneasy glances. They both know that Veyra Skorn won't be happy until she has the relic, but they also know that hunting down the relic hunters herself would put them in terrible danger. Veyra Skorn is a monster, and so to ensure that they'll stay alive, they decide to play along and go along with the plan. The next morning, Aira wakes up feeling restless. She keeps having nightmares about being burned alive by the Voidborn, and she feels like her fire powers are out of control. She goes to speak with Dax about it, but he's already gone. The only clue as to where he might be is a note saying that he went for a walk and would be back soon. So instead, she decides to take out the trash. As she opens the hatch to the cargo hold, she hears a voice that says, Well, what do we have here? Looks like the relic hunters have brought us a little visitor. Turning around, she sees that she's surrounded by members of the Voidborn Legion, including the bounty hunter twins, Lark and Wynn. Before she can react, they close in, but suddenly Dax appears and blasts one of them with his tractor beam, sending him flying into the wall. The other bounty hunter opens fire with his void cannon, but Dax uses his telekinesis to deflect the blast. Just then, the Clack leaps from the shadows and attacks, knocking another Voidborn soldier into the reactor core. Dax and the Clacks team up and quickly overwhelm the soldiers. But suddenly, a familiar voice rings out, and Commander Veyra Skorn drops down from above with 2 more Voidborn elite guards at her side. She tells Dax that she's impressed that he got this far, but it's over now. And then she turns to Lyra and laughs. She says that Lyra's powers have been growing out of control because she has accepted her fate, which is to be a weapon of the Voidborn, but Dax refuses to let her take Aira. And so the battle begins. The two elite guards open fire on Dax with their void cannons, but he deflects their blasts with ease. Meanwhile, Aira is struggling to get her fire powers under control. She tries to attack, but keeps missing. And then one of the soldiers charges at her and she accidentally knocks him out cold. Realizing that she's not strong enough to fight yet, she decides to try and reason with Veyra Skorn. She tells her that she's not a weapon and never will be, but Veyra just laughs and opens fire. Just as Aira thinks she's surely going to die, though a figure drops down from above and intercepts the blast. It's the Galactic, who knocks Veyra's gun out of her hand and sends her sprawling to the ground. With Veyra distracted, Dax and Aira use their combined powers to blast the two elite guards away. And then the Galactic turns to Veyra and lets out a ferocious roar, advancing on her. But just then, Dax stops it with his tractor beam. He tells the Galactic that this isn't its fight, and it's done now. The Galactic whimpers slightly, but eventually backs down and returns to its normal size. Veyra scrambles to her feet and tells Dax that this isn't over. She swears that the Voidborn will find the relic and that when they do, they'll crush the relic hunters. With that, she and the remaining bounty hunters escape. And soon after, Dax and Aira find themselves alone once more. Finally, they can relax, right? Well, not exactly. You see, while the battle was happening, Rif and Zev snuck aboard the ship, and now they're standing behind Aira with a gun pointed at her. They demand to know where the relic is, but she tells them that she doesn't have it. Suddenly, though, Dax steps between them and says that she's right. He does, however, have the relic and offers to show them if they swear to protect Aira and help her train. And amazingly, they agree. With the alliance complete, Dax, Rif and Zeb set about repairing the ship. Aira is overjoyed. She finally has friends who care about her and want to help. And as they work, Dax and Rif start to bond over their shared love of junk collecting. Then suddenly, as Zero is examining the controls, she notices something. The last place they had a firefight was the planet Zero, and she remembers reading about it in one of the data pads she stole from the Voidborn. According to the information she found, Zerathis is a highly advanced jungle planet that was abandoned centuries ago after a terrible plague swept across its surface. It is said to be covered in deadly creatures, and that no ship has ever landed on it and lived to tell the tale. But Aira thinks that maybe they don't need a ship. She tells Dax that she thinks the second relic is on that planet and that they should go there and get it before the Voidborn do. And against all odds, Dax agrees. So there we have it. The search for the second relic leads them to a dangerous, uncharted planet full of deadly creatures. Will they make it out alive? Find out next week. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment.